was last time.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
learning.
I'm definitely more prepared than made my character the morning of.
That is true. That is true.
That's true.
I need to post this in announcements.
Full disclosure. I just made my Dungeons and Dragons character for the personality that made life easy.
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah. She's a hoity-toity annoying person. It's great. This one's less annoying. Hopefully more motherly than annoying, but you know.
Are you saying that motherly characters are also annoying?
No, like my D&D character is annoying, but like that's part of her charm. Is she's very much like, oh, I can't wear that. I'm a spring. Like, what do you mean?
Annoying.
We have a fake, like we've made an executive decision about the bag of holding that I have, and that there is a separate pocket inside that I keep dresses in.
Ooh.
Specifically so that I can bring multiple outfits and not have it count against the bag of holdings like volume. And like, so she's a wild magic sorcerer, and recently her hair changed color from pale lavender to bright fiery orange, and she's like, now I'm in autumn and nothing matches. I can't wear anything I brought with me. It's a disaster.
Oh my goodness.
She has to go home and get new outfits, like the whole thing. I love her so much.
There we go. We are now hosting Gobbo.
Hooray.
Ooh, I think Impossible Coin should be auto-hosting you. So that's nice.
Honestly,
I unfortunately have a bunch of people in my auto-host, so I have to fix these things.
It's fine. I need to give my auto-host another pass. There's been a lot of people who I've like become mutuals with recently who I am not hosting, including Estelle, which is surprising because like I try and host them whenever they're live, but I forget to set the auto-host, so it's like, oh snap, I gotta deal with that, and I never do. Because I am a monster. Hello, chat. Hello, Susie. We will be starting in about 3 or so minutes. We are waiting for our last player to show up.
To come back.
Well, to come back, to be fair.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
I'm trying to think if there's anything last minute I need to tell you guys, the players. I think I did you guys read that last little snippet I threw up there?
Probably not.
Last snippet.
What snippet where?
Where did I post it?
Where indeed? Where did you post it?
The thing that you didn't tell any of us.
Did I type it and not hit enter?
What did he not tell us?
It seems like you may have.
Oh my god.
What did he forget to tell us?
We don't know because he hasn't told us yet.
All right.
It's a surprise!
Okay, I guess we gotta do this. Hold on.
So hi, I'm back.
My typing ASMR.
I do love typing ASMR.
I actually do. Okay, what's the thing?
All he's done is swore in chat, so
Amazing.
You're not missing anything.
Oh, should we change our names to our character names?
I just did it because that's what we did last time.
Let's not, actually. I have the character name and information, like, as a recurring graphic. I'd rather we keep our real names and pronouns, so there's a differentiation between players and characters. Like,
Fair enough.
Like, for reference.
Who are all these other people following me on Twitter now?
Cool people, because cool people follow some.
Okay, I re-updated my nickname so it'll show my actual name instead of my game name.
Instead of your pretend name.
Yeah.
I put my nickname. It's easier for everyone. And my brother just got his pies. He's very happy with them.
Oh boy.
I also managed to get the other two out of the oven. Yay! Oh, that's way too many pies.
Will chat be able to see our roles?
Yes. I don't know if you saw the video that I sent in various groups showing off, but there's going to be a display of the general Evolsters chat from this Discord. So if you roll in there,
General Evolsters. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
If you roll in there,
And it is exclamation point roll whatever, correct?
that is correct.
Okay.
Um,
I have several different dice spots across several different Discord servers. So I'm just trying to make sure that the right one is in my head.
okay. All right, I think we're
And
about ready
there's the
to
correct one.
start. You guys all good?
I
Yeah.
have my pen,
Okay.
my notebook, I have my dog, I have my food.
I have my dog.
Oh, thank you for the
Very
sub,
British.
Sono.
You're welcome. I didn't notice until just now that it was asking me to share that.
I will refrain from ringing the bell just this once. All right.
How kind of you.
That's okay. It's in my heart.
Okay.
Hey, Gata.
Yes.
I just noticed the monthly goal is to make cookies.
Huh. And we've already done that.
Yeah.
Wow, we did it! Woohoo! Good job, us!
Congratulations, everyone. I'm so proud of you. Okay.
Hooray!
We're gonna properly get started.
I want those Jello cupcakes one day.
Someday, maybe. They're gross, actually. So don't.
I'm gonna make them.
Shush. Okay. We're going live. Howdy, farmhands. My name is Gata, and I looked at the camera that isn't there right now. Oh, that's kind of weird. Welcome to our special Thanksgiving-y TTRPG one-shot. We are playing a game called Evolsters and Friends, written by a gentleman known as Tom Wright. As you can probably see, we've kind of fiddled around with the setup for our stream. We have the character art flashing by with some basic information. We got a little box down below so you can see our roles, and you can see on this here right-hand side the Discord call that we're all in. Everyone say hello real quick.
Hi, everybody.
There we go.
Hi.
That was quick enough. Good job, everyone. I am joined by Essie, Estelle Dusk,
Hello.
Jun,
Hello.
Sono from Sono Mikan.
Hello.
Or rather, your Twitch is still Karate Bug Mom. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, I'm known by that in too many Twitch channel chat rooms to change it.
Oh, you know what?
Because I don't want to explain changing it to communities that aren't VTuber communities.
I absolutely forgot to change the chat bot for Super Chat. I'm just gonna turn that off. Actually, we don't need that this time around. Anyway, and last but not least, we have Tegan, who is 1/3 of the Impossible Coin podcast. Tegan? Did Tegan die?
I don't know.
F in chat.
F in chat for Tegan.
F in the chat.
F's in chat.
Tegan? Did you go away?
Oh wait, I'm probably on the phone.
Oh snap!
Oh, she did say she was getting a call, but I thought that was earlier.
Yeah, that was significantly earlier.
Yeah, I thought she came back from that.
Me too.
Huh. Well, I
Bathroom break?
I guess we'll continue on for a minute without her. Golly gee. But yeah, so we are playing a game called Evolsters and Friends. We're modifying it ever so slightly. Normally, this game involves us, seriously, creating the world from scratch as a group. But for the sake of time, I've kind of did some of the groundwork myself so I could properly prep an adventure. Let's see. Should I talk about the world first, or should we introduce characters? Tegan's not here, so I guess we're gonna do the
Tegan's
world.
not here, so go ahead.
Yeah, let's do the world first. Okay. Golly, I'm anxious. Yes. So,
No worries.
So, welcome to the world of Evolsters. About 3 or 4 generations ago, this world was not unlike our own, full of normal people doing normal things, but all of that changed when the Evolsters appeared. Evolsters are magical creatures of a questionable origin. They come in all shapes and sizes, and when they appeared on the planet, they completely changed how society worked. Wars were threatened, allegiances changed, society had to be rebuilt from the ground up to account for the fact that it was now populated not just by humans and animals, but also these cute, marketable, fuzzy creatures who could destroy you if you rubbed them the wrong way. Along with the many other things that humans have learned about Evolsters over the years, the most regrettable discovery was that some of them are unfortunately delicious. This led to a large. This led to the creation of a large poaching community of ne'er-do-wells who seek out the most delectable of Evolsters to trap and fricassee. The moral and ethical questions about how cool it is to eat something that is like sentient enough to communicate directly to you is not something we are going to unpack here. What is important is that in response to this, a large conservation effort of humans around the globe has arisen to locate, track down, and secure the most rare and wanted Evolsters by these terrible, terrible criminals. It is a task that most of the populace is willing to partake in at the drop of a hat across all walks of life. In this adventure, we are going to be doing just that. The four of you, who we'll introduce in a second, have caught wind of the fact that a particular Evolster, known as a Gobbo, is hiding somewhere within the Platter Forest, and it is up to the four of you to find it and bring it somewhere safe before the evil team Snackit shows up and tries to whisk it away.
I love it. I love it.
I swear to all of you in chat that I created my character before I knew about any of this.
Yeah, no.
Sounds amazing. I want to eat it.
No, Tegan, no. That's not.
I want to eat it too, though.
I can't believe this.
No. Well,
You made a delicious creature, God. Of course we want to eat it.
I
actually
hate this.
don't like turkey. I prefer ham.
How do you know a Gobbo's not a
Its name is Gobbo. I'm pretty sure it's a turkey.
I mean, to be fair, I Tegan want to eat it, but I don't believe my character wants to eat it.
I guess.
Dear Lord. All right. Let us introduce our characters. We can start with Estelle.
Hi.
Say a little bit about your character, what their name is, what they're about, and explain to us what their Evolster partner is.
All right. Well, my character is Abby Meringue. Yes, like the food.
Mm-hmm.
Her pronouns are she, her. She's trying to be a supportive teacher type person. She has a fiery zebra as a partner, as a Evolster. Sorry, that's the word.
Mm-hmm. How do you pronounce the Evolster's name, real quick?
Zebrush fire.
Zebrash Fire? Okay.
Like a brush fire with a Z at the beginning.
Oh, hey! I didn't even
You just
catch
noticed?
that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I like it. It's a zebra that's on fire. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's technically default one's part of the game that everyone could have grabbed, but I grabbed it. It's mine. You
Okay.
can't have it.
Oh, good. What
And
is your
she-
character's personal goal?
She wants to study all of them. It's just something about these creatures that she's like, I must learn everything about them. And she's doing it from the back of a fiery horse, wearing a cowboy hat. And looking hella cute.
Mood.
That's
a
pretty
whole
cool.
aesthetic. I appreciate it.
Oh, and there she is on screen right now. Hooray! Also, real quick,
Yay.
thank you, Jun, for supporting the character portraits for this game. I really appreciate it. Take my money.
You're welcome. No need to pay me. I'm happy to do so. I'm happy that people get to see characterizations of our characters.
I will find a way to send you money.
I know.
And mega cute.
Don't you have his PayPal?
Do I? I don't think I do, no.
Do you?
I don't think I do. One last question for you, Estelle.
Yes.
In this world full of Evolsters, how do we catch them? Like, in some alternate universes, there's like these like round ball orb things, maybe?
So obviously, Essie's character uses a lasso.
Yeah, I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say.
yeah, it has to
Okay,
be.
good.
I just like, hey, you want to join my party? No? Well,
You-
Lasso, you sure?
No,
You want to hang out?
Lasso is your second tactic. I will
Go to
ask.
Arby's, maybe?
I will ask Estelle directly: is lassoing Evolsters the accepted method of catching them, or just how you do it?
No, that's just how I do it.
All right. What do you think the accepted variant would be?
No, you have to ask each one of us how we.
I
each-
have a different question for each of you, and I was
Aw,
hoping that
come
each of
on.
you would work on one section, so we're not here for 10 hours.
I mean, that's fair. That's valid
that's-
and
Yeah,
fair.
that's fair.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm not sure actually. Can I get a different question?
Okay, fine. You know what? Jun blurted out the answer for that one initially, so I'll have Jun answer when I get to him. In that case, Evolsters are magical, mysterious beings, and one of their powers is to change and grow into stronger Evolsters. What is this process called?
It can't just be called evolution, like Digivolution and all these other evolutions.
It's
that
called
we can have?
Evolstration.
I mean, it could just be evolution. Anything, whatever you answer, Essie, I'm going to put
It's
down as being
evolution.
fact. Evolution. Okay.
And so it is written, and so it shall be.
So mote it be. All right. Jun, why don't you introduce your character?
Yes. So my name is John. I'm playing today Taro Tsunero, who is a bubbly breeder. And is that right? Yeah, bubbly
Mhm.
breeder. And their intention is to feed all of the creatures on the planet because they love them.
Aw.
Solving world hunger, one
Solving-
lobster at a time.
Yes, I love it.
All right. So then I will ask you, Jun, aside from some people using lassos, how does the general populace catch Evolsters?
Well, Taro uses food, obviously, to lure them, where they use rings. These golden rings that you cast out. You have a bunch of them in your pocket, and when you get hit, they all scatter on the ground. But if you
No.
if you want to catch an Evolster, you toss a ring out, and it's like a ring toss.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you asked me.
I don't know what I
Evolsters
expected.
are obviously easier to catch than other ones.
I don't know what I
Yeah.
expected.
Some of them have like prongs
You
that
asked
you can
some
like.
Digimon nerds what to use.
They're rings. They're obviously golden rings, and that's
Alright.
where you
Golden
win in
rings.
fights, and you use them, and you toss them onto the Evolster, and once there's enough, it just kind of wraps around them, and they become your friend.
So
Okay.
it's like a collar.
Yeah,
They're like friendship rings.
yeah. All
Right.
of you are right.
All right, I'm writing that down. Friendship rings. Okay, well, here we go.
They're friendship bracelets.
Friendship bracelets.
They're friendship necklaces at this point.
You
shoot.
throw enough friendship
Friendship-
bracelets at them till they can't
friendship
move and they have no
collars.
choice but to be your friend. That's how that
Yeah.
works. All right. Sono, would you like to introduce your
Yeah.
character?
Okay. Hi, I'm Sono. I'm going to be playing Momo Sagese. Pronouns they them. And Momo is, I don't know, veterinarian is what they put in here. She's kind of halfway between a breeder and a professor, and I thought veterinarian was the closest thing to that made sense.
I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah. And she has a grass type cat named Nyaranj. And it's got little berries in the grass fur. It's like a big, fluffy, long-haired cat, but the fur is grass.
I love
And
it.
there's berries in there.
I want 10.
I absolutely adore it.
I'm sorry. I think I've forgotten to talk about my.
Yeah, you actually didn't mention Batter. We'll loop back to you in a
No, I
second.
didn't. Okay.
And Momo's entire goal is actually, again, this is pretty much the goal of every Pokemon OC I've ever had. So this was way before I knew the plot of this, because I didn't know the plot of this until right now. Momo's goal is to establish a conservation facility.
That's great.
For those familiar with Pokemon Red and Blue, think Fuchsia City, all of it, the whole thing. The zoo and Safari Zone, that's kind of what their goal is.
Okay. So my question for you, Sono, is in this world, human children will go out on an Evolster journey. How do they begin that journey? What do they have to do to officially be on an Evolster journey?
Okay, first of all, you gotta be 16. None of this 10-year-old nonsense.
Okay.
If you're, I don't know, maybe it's younger for different things, but any, training league stuff, you gotta be 16.
Okay.
And I don't want 10-year-olds running around by themselves. That's not safe.
For the 10-year-olds or society? I vote society.
Yes.
A little bit of both. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But you have to register, and you have to go to an adoption facility and properly adopt an Evolster of some kind.
Using friendship bracelets?
Yes, some friendship
Yes.
bracelets that are gold. And
Yeah,
not
they
black.
give you some, and you just go out in the back, and you just throw one, and you get what you get.
I caught a fire horse apparently.
But you gotta go to a facility.
The kennel attendants going over to Abby like, ma'am, no, you can't use the lasso. I know you caught it, but like there's a system to this. Oh, you know what? Just take the horse.
You know what? The horse seems okay with this.
Why are
Just
we
go.
fighting this? The horse seems fine. Let's just go.
They're like, I guess the rope is yellow. That's close enough, right? Yeah, it's fine.
They were like
Counts.
at the desk doing paperwork, and they hear a muffled "Yee-haw" from out back, and they're like, "Oh no!"
Oh, this is great.
Okay. So Tegan, last but definitely not least, can you tell us about your character?
Yeah, sure. So, rounding out the charcuterie board of characters, I am going to be playing. Yeah, I said it. Brie Camembert, or Camembert. She is she her? She is a responsible arena coordinator. Yep. I think she's probably like the oldest one here. I kind of picture her as like everyone's like the fun aunt, who like comes into town from time to time and like tells you about her wild stories and then leaves you like a good gift,
Nice.
She's that kind of character. Her Pokemon, her Evolvester is called yeah,
25 minutes in, we had our first slip up. I expected it sooner.
Sorry. I mean, to be fair, we already like called him Digimon earlier a little bit.
Yeah.
So
That was as he said, Digivolution, which
Digivolution.
I mean, ring. Gold ring.
Yeah, at this point, I can't even complain. Continue, Tegan.
Look, I was.
Her Evolvester is called Kukori. It is a ice psychic peacock Evolvester. That is like white, but with like a lavender tint. and has dark purple markings around their eyes and gold on their crown feathers, which we have decided are the ones on the head, not the ones on the tail, because birds, they just call crown feathers all the feathers. Stop it.
All right. And your question is, how do you imagine the four of you met?
Is that a question for me or for everybody?
It's a question for you.
I just make up our entire group backstory.
Yeah.
Cool.
You don't got to go too in depth, but like, what was it that made you all travel together in the first place?
So the professor who is sending us on this special mission has basically told me that I am in charge of making sure that none of these kids die on the way back.
Sure, your character. Sure.
My character, the responsible one. Basically, like, you have to have an adult chaperone for this particular thing because I have all of the conservation paperwork from the scientist, and being the responsible one, I'm in charge of that. I'm not in charge of anything else. I'm in charge of that.
I like it.
I'm surrounded by fire. That makes sense. I shouldn't hold any paperwork.
Yeah, nobody should hold any paperwork except me. I got it. It's safe. We can levitate it up away from everybody. Keep it safe. It's fine.
Okay. Well, with that out of the way, I think we're actually finally ready to play. Do we need a quick rundown of the rules of the system real quick?
Before we get into the rules, I also wanted to mention my Evolsters.
Oh, I skipped
created.
you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. No, we all forgot. So we each got to choose like an animal, and then you combine it with an element, and that's going to be getting into the rules a little bit. So I chose a bat, and I wanted to combine it with water so that it would become a batter. And so I imagined in my head that this is a little bat that's kind of how would you describe it? But like after you put in some flour and some sugar and you put in a little bit of water and oil and you mix it up, it's kind of that consistency and also that kind of color.
So is it kind of like its body is like a slime, sort of like a JRPG slime where it has a shape, but it's not as solid as you would think it would be?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Can it still fly?
Yes.
Okay, neato.
It's a flying water bat creature.
Okay. So, the real quick rundown of the rules are as such. Each of you have chosen a number. This number does not change. It is your character's number. If you want to do anything, it is either Evolsters, which refers to like study or training or like mechanical stuff, or friends, which is people skills, social stuff, friendship, you know? If you want to do an action which is considered an Evolsters, you want to roll under your number. If you want to do an action which is considered friends, you want to roll over your number. You can roll up to 4d6 with this current system. If you do anything, you start off rolling 1d6. If you are prepared to do that action, and you can argue that based on the things on your sheet or the situation you're in, you can roll an additional d6. If your character is an expert in the thing they are trying to do, you can roll a third d6. And if another character offers to assist you with your action, you can roll a fourth d6 on top of that. So like you can roll up to 4d6. Then, depending on how many of those d6 are considered successes by either rolling above or below your chosen number, determines how well your character succeeds at that thing. However, if you manage to roll your number exactly on even one dice, you have Evolster Friends, which will allow you to ask one question from the GM, and then you can choose to use the answer to that question to do a different action. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, more or less.
More or less. Well, I guess we'll have to go with it. Do we have any questions?
You know
We'll
I'm
get
weird
into
about
it.
these 6 systems.
I know how you feel.
I have a question. Do you want us to be different numbers? Because I know that Sono and I pick the same number, and I can change mine if you like.
No. You guys can have the same numbers. It doesn't really matter. The stuff you have in your character sheet, which you can use to like argue that you should get a D6 for this or that, are different. So your characters are different enough that I don't feel like it's gonna like ruin the game or anything.
Sure. Oops.
Someone is popular.
Please silence your
Tegan,
phones.
is that your mom? Jeez, come on, Tegan.
Oh, wow.
My bad. Actually, it's Brian, so whatever.
Oh,
So it's
that
your
makes
dad.
sense. Okay.
My dad wants to know what I'm doing with my dad. It's fine.
God.
dad.
Alrighty then. So let's get started. The four of you are in the middle of the forest in the Plattertown region. You have been told that a Gobbo has been seen in the area. And it has been seen in the area by you. You are standing at the base of an incredibly tall oak tree that is taller than most every other tree in the canopy, reaching up to the sky. And sitting on a branch near the very, very tippy top, you see the brown, feathery lump that is a Gobbo looking down over the edge and blinking at you. A Gobbo,
Lovely.
for those of you in the know, is a small but stout bird-like creature with tiny little wings and waddly feet and a tail full of colorful feathers coming out of its butt. They are not the brightest, but they do know that everyone and their mom wants to eat them. Therefore, they are very quick and tend to hide. This one has chosen to scamper up to the tippy top of this tree with no way down because, as I mentioned before, its wings are a little stubby, so it's flightless. So it's just kind of sitting up there. What would you all like to do?
Does it like berries? Wait, am I still muted? Yeah, oh no.
You are not muted. If you want to learn more about any particular Evolster you come into contact with, you will have to roll for Evolsters to determine whether or not your character knows this.
Probably know if the turkey likes berries. So if your character asked that out loud, I'd probably be able to answer.
No, that was me because I just remembered there's a game with a turkey that cannot fly, and it loves berries.
I don't know what game you're referencing.
Don't starve.
Oh, I've never played it, so. But yeah. I've put the scenario in front of you. What do you do?
Anybody?
I'll use batter to fly up there with some scrumptious berries and and a ring and try to give batter the ring to put on the Gobbo.
I will offer berries from Nyaranj to this effort.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
So-
I do remember you saying you were going to ask if you can eat them, and the
Yes.
answer is yes, you can.
Yes.
Nice.
The answer is yes. This is currently Momo's primary food source while traveling.
Are they sweet? Are they tart? Are they
Citrusy.
They're citrusy.
citrusy?
They're
Okay.
citrusy.
Big time.
Nyaranj. Like
So
oranges.
probably like canepas.
A what?
Like halos?
Did you say cannabis? I see.
No,
420.
canepa.
Blaze it.
It's a Puerto Rican fruit.
Ah.
We all learned today.
It's also called a Mexican lime, I think.
Okay.
Very good.
So, explain to me again what exactly you're doing.
So we're all at the bottom of this tall tree, the tallest tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to look at Nyaranj and ask if the berries are edible.
And
Which-
yes, Momo's gonna
And
pop one. Be like, yeah, I eat them all the time.
may I have some in order to lure the Gobbo?
Yeah. And Nyaranj will, I guess, shake off a handful of them.
Oh, I imagine them shaking themselves like a dog, and then with a small handful, each one to make sure that they're palatable. They're very good, and then give them to Batter and ask Batter, okay, Batter, you want to bring these up to the Gobbo, and then while it's eating, put the ring on it. Okay, you got that? All right, better. You looking at me? Okay, no, don't eat one. No, better. No, these are for the Gobbo. Okay, take one. You can have some later. You take it up there. You see that brown thing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait. No, I didn't give him the ring. Come back. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I take this ring and put it on while it's eating.
I'm going to ask you to roll to see if you can get through to Batter with your order.
Okay. Sure.
No.
Now you could use either your authority as Batter's human partner or your friendship with Batter to try and get Batter to do this, whichever one you want.
I'm not authoritative. I'm bubbly and nice, and I feed Batter, and I raised it from its little tiny batter state of flour and egg, and
So it's like your authority as its parent?
Ooh.
Yeah, sure.
You're the parent of a
more
toddler?
friend. I'm a
A friend of a toddler. You're a teacher. Okay.
Yeah, the batter is definitely like a toddler, so I'm going to explain it very, very slowly and ask it to ask any questions if it's confused. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to mess up.
What does Batter sound like, by the way?
Oh, I think really high chittering sounds.
I don't think my throat can recreate that.
I
could aim for dolphin. Oh, that was very good.
Yeah. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Not without the squirrel sounds, but
okay. I'll save those for later. All right.
And I think I want to try. So I want to use my friendship, and maybe I can try and bribe Batter too by saying you can have berries if you are able to successfully get the ring onto the Gobbo.
Okay, I'd say you get an extra D6. You're prepared for you know Batter. You know that you're gonna have to use food to motivate it. So I'd say you roll 2D6. And maybe since Momo did assist you by offering you Nyarenge's berries, you can roll an additional D6 because your friend is assisting you.
They are very good berries.
My number is 2, and I want to roll. Let's see.
You want to roll
number?
over
I'm
it.
better at Evolsters, catching, training, teaching, and a low number is better at friends, which is caring and charm. So
come again. What's your number again?
Is 2.
2. So if this is a friends roll,
yes,
then you want to roll a 2 or higher on any of your 3d6.
That makes sense because I'm better. I'm very better at friends. I've got a 4 and a 2 and a 6.
Okay, so that is a rousing success, but you did hit 2 exactly, which means you did activate Evolster Friends. Which means you can ask me one question about the scenario, and if the answer changes your opinion, you can try and roll for a different action instead.
Ooh. How can I get Gobbo to understand we want to help them and not to eat them? Okay. Is that too complicated a question? Like too on the nose?
I will say that Gobbos are naturally paranoid, but they are not incapable of understanding you. If you can your character would think if you can prove that you are safe, you could convince the Gobbo to come with you, but it would take some doing.
Okay. That I think that makes me want to make sure that the berries are more important than the ring, which I was thinking the opposite beforehand. But now I'm just kind of like, give it some berries and let it know that we're chill people.
Okay. So, you rolled 3 successes. So if 3 dice succeed, you get a critical success. The GM tells you some extra effect you get. So Batter chitters at you. And with the promise of berries for it in the future, it starts flapping its way up to the tree. As it's flapping, though, the little berries in its little hands, paws, feet, whatever it has.
I'm not sure where it's
It's
a maw. Maybe it's holding it in
its scoops of
its folds.
It's
in the batter.
Okay.
Does Batter have a little basket?
In its little slime-ish...
It's not carrying a basket.
Yeah, it's the berries are like
The basket would be
loose.
too heavy.
But as
Ditto, can it make itself into a basket?
Oh,
that's not a bad idea.
It is kind of like
probably, but then how would it?
Was like amorphous, so like
It'd
it
be
could
hard to fly in a.
Could be a winged basket.
Yeah, I guess that's
A
true.
little basket with wings.
adorable.
If you'll excuse me for just one moment, I have to kiss my beautiful wife. She popped in real quick. Everyone say hello.
Hello.
Hi, beautiful wife.
Give me a kiss. There's no camera on us tonight. Mwah. I love
Good,
you.
I look cool.
Oh, you look fine. Will you take Meringue
That's
out with you?
Adorable.
Everyone says hello.
Hi.
Love you. She has had a long day at work, poor thing. All right.
Aw.
But yes. So as Batter flaps its way up to the tree, you see it going higher and higher and higher and higher. A few of the berries that were in its paws slip through its grasp and ends up falling into a bird nest that was sitting on one of the branches. You see some motion on that branch, but besides that, nothing else happens. Batter reaches up
Is
to
that the branch that the Gobbo's on?
No, it is on a lower branch than the Gobbo. Yes, it's on a lower branch than the Gobbo. It's on the way up. But yeah, besides that, nothing else seems to happen vis-a-vis that nest. Batter does make it to the Gobbo. And there's a bit of a back and forth where the Gobbo is like not willing to accept anything, but then the Batter's like really insistent because it wants its berries as well. So eventually, Batter does manage to leave like a handful of berries with Gobbo, who like chews them suspiciously while glaring at you down over the side of his branch. And then Batter returns to you, actively eating a good like 60% of the berries using up there in the first place.
Good job.
Hi, Carol.
Hello, Carol. Hello in chat.
Hello, Carol.
I will say
Carol
the
is
Gobbo is slightly less suspicious of y'all as a result of this action.
I did it.
Dun, da, da, da.
So can I use the lasso yet, or are we still doing the other way?
The tree.
If you want to try and reach the top of the tree with your lasso, go right ahead.
I will tell you right now, you
True,
cannot.
True.
You will need
True.
more rope.
You didn't even let her roll, Gotta.
Okay, I mean, okay. You want to roll?
No, I don't. Not
Roll
yet.
it. Out the tree is larger than you thought. Turns out Gobbo is huge.
Yeah, Gobbo only looks small because of how far away. He's really Snorlax size. That's what this is going.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
He ain't no fun sized Gobbo. This is the full meal.
I mean, that is fun sized. You jump up and down on the belly. Isn't that the definition?
That's
Full
my
meal.
definition of fun sized.
Yeah.
So more berries?
Should we?
I mean, a Batter's just eaten the rest. I'm sorry.
Batter belches.
Good
Yeah.
Batter. Good boy.
Should we?
I assume
how
setting
we
the tree
going,
on
Vin?
fire is not a good idea.
Yeah, no, do that.
No, that's probably not gonna help.
Can I send Kukori up the tree
Okay.
as a fellow bird-shaped Evolvster? Maybe they can work it out, get it to at least
It's a
come down and like
psychic type,
investigate
right?
us. Yeah, it's an ice psychic type, not a flying type, but
So it can
it is
use,
a
like-
bird.
Yeah. But it's psychic type, so it could potentially try to communicate with Gobbo
Well,
our good intentions.
So if Gobbos are paranoid, I don't know that hearing a voice inside its head would be the best alternative or the best approach.
You know what,
I mean,
Estelle?
I could just pick it up out of the tree with the psychic power, like potentially, but
I did not think of this.
That seems like it would be upsetting.
yeah,
Though.
that would be upsetting. But also, there's no way it could get away.
You absolutely could try that. I don't think that would be friends, though. I feel like that would be an Evolsters role.
I mean, probably, but I don't think that's what I want to do. At least not initially. I think I'm gonna send my bird up there to just have a nice little chat, see if it'll just come down. It doesn't have to hang out with us yet, but it should come out of the tree onto the ground where it's safer for a non-flying animal.
Okay. Similar with Taro giving Batter a request. I'm gonna ask that you roll for it to see how successful it is.
How well you've trained.
How
Oh God, I hope we trained well. I gotta figure out how to roll. I don't remember.
So first, we need to determine if the action is mechanical or emotional. Is it Evolsters or is it friends?
I think, Gata, you said it was Evolsters.
Yeah, I think it's Evolsters if it's giving my bird an order, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the command.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, since we are what's it called? Coordinator. Since I'm a coordinator and this is my show animal, essentially, I would say that it's probably like used to performing sort of tricks and stuff, so it should be able to get up to jump up the tree fairly easily.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Kukuri does Kukuri fly or do they hop up? Are they?
I mean, it flies as much as a peacock does.
Okay.
Yeah, peacocks fly.
There's a peacock. I don't know if peacocks fly.
Peacocks
They do.
fly.
They definitely do.
I just know they have big, elegant
They just have
tails.
big feathers.
There's a lot of them down here in Florida, and they are all over the place.
Just wild peacocks.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
One day I'll show you some of the pictures I've taken.
Not as cool as you would
First I
think
have
it
to
is.
find
They
them.
kind of poop everywhere.
And they're very
Yeah, well,
loud.
so do geese, but at least
That's
peacocks
fair.
look nice.
Yeah, at least peacocks are pretty.
Peacocks are very
All right.
loud.
So we're going to roll at least 1d6. I would say that because of your profession, you'll get an extra d6 for being an expert. Are you particularly prepared to send your bird on a democratic mission, a diplomatic mission, rather? Is that something that you guys trained for?
I mean, we did train as like performers, so I'd say this could potentially be like a performance of like goodwill sort of thing, like kind of charming yourself for the judges. It's like that sort of similar vibe.
Alrighty then. Then you can go ahead and roll 3d6, and let's see where they fall. And what's your number again? I'm sorry.
My number is
4.
4.
I think I just saw it.
All right. So you want to roll 4 or below.
Haha!
There you go, you hit it.
One hit and 1 below.
Okay, so that means you have 2 successes, but one of those is an Evolster friends. So you get to ask me one question.
I'll have to think about it. I had a question when Jun was supposed to be asking a question.
Mhm.
So like that's of course how this works.
Naturally.
Of course.
The Gobbo's nature, you said it was like a bird that's paranoid a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reasonable method without capturing it, like without actually like putting the ring on it or whatever, that we could get it to come back with us?
Like I sort of already answered this with Jun's question. So I'm gonna reiterate what that answer was, and maybe you can like rephrase your question, be a little more specific.
Okay.
Because of its paranoid nature, it's not impossible to be convinced that you're safe, but it would take a lot of convincing that you particularly are safe before it would feel comfortable going anywhere with you.
Gotcha. So I guess the specific question is like, what is the one thing we can do that would definitely be like, yes, this is safe? Because obviously, like we all have
there's something that
our own Evolsters that are like already like trusting us and listening to us, sort of thing. So like,
yeah, exactly. So I was gonna say that maybe we can show it by literally like taking care of our Evolsters somehow.
yeah, is that like a thing that would work, or like What's the one thing we could do that it would be like, yes, I will follow these people?
Hey, Gata, what's the one easy step to completing this adventure you've written?
Yeah!
Y'all,
Which- While we're on the subject, why, Gata, did you make this adventure a vertical tree adventure when one of your characters has a horse? And you know what? I am more equipped to answer one of those questions than the other.
Is it the horse one?
Surprisingly, no, it's not the horse one.
I mean, I assumed like
I don't know why. I've been planning this adventure for weeks. I don't know why it only just hit me that maybe involving a tree when one of your characters has a horse is not the best planning on my part.
Is the tree supposed to symbolize like a Christmas tree? Because I didn't get that until just now.
This is a Thanksgiving special, Jun, you uncultured swine. No!
Well, then why a tree?
Because it's fall! It's got, like, orange leaves and stuff on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I was like
Speaking
a
of
maple
that-
tree. I was definitely picturing like a very tall pine tree.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, once everyone is done trying their thing out, I was gonna see about knocking the tree over.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Jeez.
see if I'm thinking like if
Yeah,
my,
'cause
if my
that'll really
bird can kind of charm it, that like maybe it'll lead the
I
bird
mean-
back down.
Oh,
Okay.
oh my gosh! Can your bird
No,
do a
I-
mating dance?
Well, we can put it back down for that, but like
Oh my.
first we
I
gotta
mean,
get on the
like,
ground so we
I'm-
can really appreciate the plumage.
If you can somehow let it know that like I am working with people to like put a zoo together, that I am here to want to bring it to that, and
we
no
have
one would
training
need
too?
it there.
To officially answer the Evolster Friends question, the best way you could convince it that you are safe is probably to start a dialogue with it, to verbally assure it that you are not going to try and eat it.
Okay, so I am sort of doing that by sending my bird up there to be like, hey, yo, what's up?
Mhm.
Maybe we can come down out of this tree. No one's gonna eat you. Look at me, I'm a beautiful bird. They're not gonna
Okay.
eat me. Obviously, they're not gonna eat you either. It's fine. You're also a beautiful bird. Come on. Let's
So-
have a chit chat. And then maybe after dinner.
Maybe don't mention dinner. Maybe don't mention
No, sure,
dinner.
the birds have dinner.
Yeah, no, not even like.
Us.
Listen.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
All
As
right.
soon as the bird hears dinner, it's gonna go into like
That's
panic
fair.
attack.
Well,
so.
to be fair, I'm not. It's my bird. It's like, hello, yes, you're so charming, so beautiful. Love your tail. Let's
of
come
course.
down. Come on down. Let's hang out. We can have some more berries. We can chit chat. You won't have to worry about falling out of a tree,
there's good
considering
berries
you
down
can't
there.
fly.
So Kukuri flaps up there, and you can hear it, like you screeching back and forth between it and the Gobbo. Obviously, you guys don't understand Evolster, so you don't know exactly what they're talking about, but it's visible from Kukuri's body language that this is a very one-sided, flirtatious message. Gobbo just kind of sitting there on its little butt, blinking at Kukuri. It's like
no, is
like-
it dumb?
it's mid-chew of the berries, just kind of staring at this new thing that just showed up, just But it is looking down at you every so often, not actively squinting at you, so it's kind of like, okay, all right, sure. So the Gobbo does seem to be not immediately terrified of you. Essie, what was that about Abby knocking the tree over?
Well, it was more if my lovely horse person,
Right.
Evolster, could kind of give me a lift so I could climb up the tree.
Okay.
I do see your character trying to climb this fucking tree.
Yeah.
I do see
I
your
do see
character.
that as well.
Everyone else is
Regardless
trying
of the mission.
diplomacy, and Abby's just slightly out of frame, actively trying to climb the tree with her horse.
Yeah.
Using the last little latch on to branches.
Okay.
It's like
If
trying to climb
you
this tree, get close, and then, hey, little Gobbo.
if you want to attempt to start climbing the tree, that's going to be an Evolster's roll to see if you can get yourself up there. Are you going to try and bring the horse with you, or?
No. The horse is going to stay down there to catch me so that if I fall. it's
Okay.
good. So it needs to be less than 5. I would say I am prepared.
You are prepared for this action specifically. I would agree with that. Are you
Would
an
you say I'm an
expert?
I kind of want to say
You're
yeah.
athletic, man. Like,
I feel like Abby has climbed a tree.
Yeah.
definitely climbed a tree.
All right.
I think everyone can agree with that.
Go ahead and roll 3d6.
I want better to
Used to be less
become
than 5, so
a,
there we go. 3.
All right. Congratulations. You have 2. All right. So everyone else is watching Kukori like chat up the Gobbo. And then one of you notices out of the corner of your eye that the horse and cowgirl are like not there. And when you look back, you can see that Abby has already made it up to the first like layer of branches between you guys and the Gobbo.
Well, it's just gonna be like, hey guys,
Oh my god.
what's that one doing?
They're climbing the tree. They're gonna fall. They're gonna fall. They're gonna hurt themselves. Hurry. Better. Here, I've got an idea. You spread yourself out like a big tarp, and if they fall, they'll fall on you, but it won't hurt you, okay?
Oh, no.
Okay?
Batter is currently sitting on top of Nyaranj, like leisurely
Trying to
picking more
eat it.
berries.
better,
like
better,
whatever.
please.
Does batter like fries like dough with yeast in it? Is that a thing it can do?
No, no. I see it more as like it's more of a watery substance and not like a. Yeah, no, I don't imagine it
Gotcha.
would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in its evolutionary form, but
That's fair.
So, Abby, you have made it up. You've climbed yourself up to the first layer of branches leading up this tree, and in a little knot on the trunk near to you, you hear a little bit of a little chittering sound, a little squirrel kind of noises, and a little furry head pops out of the hole in the side of the tree.
it's brisket.
It is.
It's
It's not.
It is. It's gonna be a little furry menace. It's brisket.
You know what? Fine. Yes. What pops
no.
out? What pops out of the little hole in the side of this tree is a cat-like tabby creature, a small, short-haired tabby creature. However, as opposed to actual fur, it looks like this creature has like brown bunches of fur just kind of modeled all over its body, and you recognize this as the Evolster Stuffing.
Stuffing.
It looks like a plate of bread stuffing, but if it were a cat. And Stuffing looks at you and blinks, and then kind of chitters at you for disturbing its rest. What do you want to do?
It's adorable, and I want to be its friend, so I'm just gonna like hold out my hand, like, "Hey, you want to be friends?" Also, I have to pee real quick, so
You're gonna use your lasso to lasso it.
yes.
Oh, what was that last thing you said? Are you dipping out for a second?
I have to pee.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah.
We have been going for an hour, haven't we? Do we want to take a quick 10-minute break just to...
Do our businesses?
Yeah.
It just started.
I know. But we've been doing this for an hour.
We've been doing this for an hour and we can't get a bird out of a tree.
Yeah, let's take a quick 10-minute break so everyone...
It's a bird in a tree.
Let's take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll resume in a second. I don't have a be right back screen set up, so I mean...
Oh, you don't have a be right back screen set up?
No.
Oh, no.
Well, let's
okay,
sing
I
the
don't
be,
either.
be right back screen song.
We
We
couldn't...
have one of those?
We could not do this at all.
I believe the be right back song is copyrighted. So
Oh, that's true.
copywritten?
How about
Wrote
you
it?
all
I
go
don't know.
off, and I will shittily hum "Girl from Ipanema." Doot da doot 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 dee dum da dee bum ba dum ba da 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 dum da 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 dum da dee doo doot doo doot doo doot doot doo doot. I've been in an elevator before. Doot 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 doo ba ba dum oh doo 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 da 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 ba doo doo ba doo dee doo doo dee doo. Bum ba ba dum bum ba. Ba dum bum bum ba dum bum ba. Ba ba dum ba bum. Ba doo ba dee boo. Be boo. Can I do this for 10 minutes? I doubt it. Ba doo. Ba ba dum be doo.
I don't know. You want me to take over?
Yeah, you take over real quick. I'll get a drink of
Yeah,
water.
each of us gets a turn.
Okay, I'm gonna get a glass of water.
I don't know if I can do this for more.
That was it? That was your turn? Come on, Sona.
I started laughing. And I already had like water in my throat. Da, 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 da. Hi, everybody. See, I keep transitioning into that song from Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Oh, well, I guess that's a good one.
Not the song, but there was a song in that weird animated movie based on that song.
I don't know if I've seen the anime. Do you mean like drawn animated one, right?
Yeah. It's a weird movie.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. It's really bizarre.
It's
I
very,
don't know what
very
song
strange.
you're talking about. It's been.
It is a song from that movie.
Yeah, the premise of Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer does not fit well in an animated feature, so they had to introduce like a villain aunt who just hates Christmas for some reason and is going to like financially benefit from Grandma staying missing. I think
She was gonna sue. Well, she wanted to like the family owned like a store, and she wanted to get like power of attorney over the grandparents so she could sell the store to like essentially like Macy's. And then like Grandma gets hit by Santa, and she's like, "We're gonna sue Santa and get a bunch of money." She just wanted money, more or less.
You
She's
can't
like, "We're
just
gonna
sue
sue
Santa.
She did. It's a weird movie.
it's a weird ass movie. My favorite part, the only one thing that sticks with me, is that like when they're investigating the scene of the crime, like the family dog finds like evidence that Grandma was there, like in a snowbank, and the dog like sticks his head in, and they're like, oh, "That's Grandma's jacket." And the dog sticks his head in, pulls it out, and goes, "And that's her like her hat or something." And then he reaches in one last time and pulls out a whole fruitcake, and they're like, "That's Grandma's fruitcake." And the dog realizes that he has the fruitcake in his mouth and goes, "Ugh," and spits it out.
Oh,
Something
that's
about the
Got Run Over by a
fruitcake.
Reindeer.
Oh, hi,
Yes,
Estelle.
yes.
Welcome
I
back.
came back and I'm just trying to figure out what you guys are talking about, and then I realized it right then.
It's a
Grandma
weird
got
movie.
run over by a reindeer.
Which is what we were singing while you were gone.
Seriously?
The halftime show.
No, it was a different song, but from the same movie.
I came out in a Cheetos outfit and did a whole like little dance number. It was great. You missed it.
Was it the
Yeah.
Grandpa's gonna sue the pants off of Santa?
No,
Yes.
but it should have been.
That is the song that I was making a reference to when I brought up this movie,
So
but I didn't know how many people had seen it.
I probably
I see
shouldn't
it every
continue
year.
this. I shouldn't extend this any further. But Grandpa's
You
gonna
really shouldn't.
Grandpa's gonna sue this pants off of Santa was canonically the sequel song by the same guy who wrote the first one before the movie was a thing.
I hate this.
He tried to
Wow.
he tried
I
to
hate
make
this
lightning
knowledge.
strike twice, and it didn't quite work.
This is the most cursed knowledge you have ever imparted upon me.
I don't know how far the discography goes, but yeah, once he realized that Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer was like the moneymaker, he tried to capitalize on it, and it didn't work well. Anyway.
Well, I guess I'll go to the bathroom so you guys can talk about it for 5 more minutes.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm kidding.
Hate this. All right. So, when we last left off, Abby had
I don't
climbed
think
the
it's
tree
ready.
partway and encountered a stuffing. What exactly was
Tree
Abby going to do?
Befriend
hold
it.
out her hand and be like, "Let's be friends."
Okay.
Hey,
Go ahead and roll friends for me.
that would be 1 or
Well, it's 1d6 by itself. Are you prepared or an expert at making friends with stuffings?
with this particular. No, but I am pretty good at making friends.
All right, I'll say it's 2d6 then. And you want to roll over your target number.
Which is 5. I failed.
Oh. Oh no.
Fall out of the tree.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, you reach out your hand for the stuffing, and it looks at your hand, and it looks at you, and it blinks, and then it gets angry. And somewhere in the back of your head, the niggling information kind of pops up as you remember, oh, that's right. Stuffing are famously super possessive.
Oh no.
Very territorial. The stuffing's hackles raise, and it slowly starts climbing out of the tree. It's no bigger than the average house cat, but it looks like it has way too many toes, and all of them have claws.
Ooh.
Well, not way too many toes, like 23 toes. It's not that bad. Calm down. The stuffing prowls out at you and starts hissing, and you now have an angry Evolster on your hands. Anybody on the ground want to do anything?
Like I said, I'm just trying to stretch. Now that if Batter doesn't respond to me, I'm going to like physically try to stretch it out so that it'll become a tarp in case Abby falls.
I'm fine.
Batter's going like,
I have a question.
yeah.
Does the gobble, does it notice this happening?
Yes, it does, and it's still sitting there with its berries like popcorn, watching it happen.
Okay, so it's chill with what's unfolding.
I don't think it. I would say it doesn't really understand what's happening. There's a commotion at the bottom of the tree, and it's totally here for it.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's still not the brightest.
No,
Nice.
It is not.
Yeah, Momo's gonna help with trying to stretch Batter out.
Oh yes, good. I
guess
needed
maybe
another
send
hand, yes.
Orange as a distraction
Okay.
To whom?
Cat v cat.
to the stuffings.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what?
We all food cats here.
So are you going to give your cat like an order, like a combat order, or are you just going to say go help?
It's not so much a combat order because we are not a combat oriented pair. It's more of a hey run interference.
Okay.
I'm gonna call down to you two and say, "Hey, can I get some berries?"
Like,
throw 'em up
got you
here.
coming. Got you coming. Be like, go.
Batter's eaten all of the berries.
All right. What kind of action do you think Nyaranj does when it climbs its way up to where Abby is? What does it do to Right interference?
I mean, it's a grass type, and it's got these nice smelling berries. So it's probably just like shaking itself out, trying to like make a distracting smell that is more interesting than this lady in the tree.
I just got the mental image of this grass cat twerking, and I hate it.
I also hate it. I do hate this. No, it's more like, like what Jen said, like a dog shaking water off of itself.
Okay.
It's a bush that's rustling.
Is it using sweet scent?
More or less.
I would say that this is a tactical decision, so I'm going to ask you to roll Evolsters.
Oh, this is gonna go badly. I am gonna say this is probably a thing we've done before.
Okay.
Because we do try and bring in Evolsters for conservation.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably a tactic we have used to try and calm other Evolsters down before.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Add an extra D6 on top of that.
You can do it.
I hope so. My number is a 2. So close.
Nope. No, you get two failures. You got a 6 and a 3. So, okay. So Nyaranj hops up there and starts shaking itself out, but all you've done is introduced a new creature into its territory, and that creature is making itself look as big as it possibly can. The stuffing switches its focus from Abby to Nyaranj, and it attacks.
Oh, it got a big.
Okay, so my plan's not a complete failure. I didn't want to get attacked,
You
but
did
I did.
distract it.
I did at least get it off of Abby.
You are all three of them are on the same tree branch, however. And now there's going to be a commotion. So I feel like the danger for Abby is still present.
Yeah, can I just like make a quick action and use my lasso to get higher?
Okay, yeah, sure. You're going to attempt to use a distraction to Amscray?
To just get higher up.
Okay, sure. I would say that because even though there was a failure, the fact that Nyaranj is taking aggro on stuffing, that you could get an extra 1d6 for helping from that.
So that would be a 2. D6?
Yep.
Yeah, 2d6 at least.
And would you say that's Evolsters or friends?
That would have been an Evolsters, so that's 1 success.
All right, there we go.
All right.
I succeed.
You barely manage to scramble up further up the tree before getting involved in the kerfuffle between these two cat Evolsters. Unfortunately, without you there to assist, that means Nyaranj is all by itself fighting this wild Evolster, and the commotion of their yowling cat fight causes the branch they're on to crack. They are embroiled in combat, and if no one assists them, the branch they're on is going to collapse and them both heading down to the ground.
Okay.
That's fine. We'll catch them.
Can you guys prep them?
I would like to try and extract my cat.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
If I can just, try and get up high enough to at least grab Nyaranj.
Okay. So your plan is to climb up the tree.
You're going to climb?
Wait. How about instead, can I have Kukuri freeze the branch to try and
That's a good
strengthen it so that it doesn't break and fall?
That's a really cool idea. I like it. That would definitely be in a
that would be much
Evolsters.
safer.
That was an excellent pun also. Good job, Gata.
Wait, what was?
A cool idea with my ice type Evolster. Ha 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 ha.
We have fun here.
We have fun here. We have a good time sometimes. But yes, no, I would say that would be an Evolsters roll. Yeah.
Okay, since it's theoretically sort of constructing something out of ice, like a little bit, like a little bit of showmanship.
Mhm.
Could I also add that it's probably something that we've done before as like a performance for our
sure.
coordinator stuff?
Sure.
Okay.
Definitely imagine like the showiness of this bird, like you're showing off all its cool moves, and one of them is to like freeze like water in a cool shape. So I'm sure it's done something.
It's just like it's like ice sculpture but with water vapor.
Mm-hmm.
It manipulates the water vapor into a shape with the psychic powers of that. Boom.
That's
Fancy.
really neat. I can't say cool again. It's neat.
You can and you should.
But yeah, so that's what, 2d6? Oh, you gotta give it a space between a roll and the number. And your number is 4.
I got 3 and a 4.
So that's 2 successes. Oh, actually, and one of those is a Volster friends. So, do you have a question you want to ask about the
does the whole tree look like it's old and this is going to be a reoccurring issue? Are there other holes in this tree that may have critters that I got to deal with?
That's a very good question, because the answer to the first one is this tree will break apart as many times as y'all get critical failures. But
Great.
there, as Kukori is flying down to respond to your call to assist Nyaranj, you do notice that the nest, Kukori notices that there is a nest with some other bird Evolsters in it, but they haven't come out to, like, interact with anything. So they could be an issue, they could not be. And also, Kukori notices that the ground underneath this tree looks exceptionally bumpy. Wonder what that could mean.
What?
Bumpy.
Yep.
Bumpy under the tree that we're standing on?
Yep. From the bird's eye view, the ground around this tree in particular looks a little uneven and lumpy.
Is the tree a Pokemon or an Evolvester?
You already
What's
asked.
the name of that one?
I know I already asked my thing, but like, nah.
But like,
But
is
Tara,
it
that was a
though? Is
Pokemon.
it?
Would you like to use that information to alter your action or continue as planned?
I believe I'm going to continue as planned and
All right.
support the branch so that all of these critters don't fall into what is potentially another critter.
So Kukori flaps down and with a cry does the exact thing you said with the water vapor and the psychic and freezing it. What shape does Kukori attempt to make? What do you normally have them do during these productions?
So it's generally a lot of like ice sculpture style stuff. So like an elegant swan or like a fleur de lis or something like that. So I'm gonna say it's something that like kind of follows the curve, like the natural curve of the tree, and then comes down around as a support structure, but also freezes along the underside to keep the branch from splitting further.
Okay. So the water vapor attempts to do that, but Kukori is like completely and totally in like performance mode. So the end result looks vaguely like an ice sculpture swan, like if the tree had like impaled it.
Amazing.
Oh no!
Amazing.
But it does in fact restabilize the branch to keep the two Evolsters that are fighting on it from falling to their doom.
I do.
Yay, we did
I do make
it.
sure to applaud my Pokemon as though this were a training
Evolster.
exercise.
Oh, that's
To
good.
give it, yes, to Evolvester, so that it knows that it did a good job.
Positive
and, like,
reinforcement.
Yes, exactly. The positive reinforcement. I can't speak tonight. Oh my goodness.
You do good for someone who can't speak.
All right. Before we get back to what Abby finds, oh, did everything just freeze on me?
No.
Hello? Am I
Y'all can
heard?
still hear us?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay,
hearing you.
phew. My OBS froze for a second, so I didn't see like my bars moving, and I panicked. I was like, "Oh shit,
Nice.
is this where it all ends?" But no, we're fine. We're all fine. Before we get to what Abby finds climbing further up the tree, would either Momo or Taro like to do anything besides stretch poor Batter out, who is properly
very
like stretched at this point?
I'm very comfortable holding this tarp, better tarp, out below my friend who might fall.
How many times have you done this before?
Never.
You sure? You sure?
Just yelling at each other up and down the
Smile.
tree.
I do want to, now that Abby is kind of out of the way, I do kind of want to, because Nyaranj has not seen a lot of combat. We aren't the fighting type.
Stuffing pulls out a shiv, and Nyaranj like visibly pales.
Like, I am legitimately thinking of a cat in my neighborhood that my cat will get angry at, and I have to like grab my cat and start running down the street because this cat will just follow us because it just wants to hang out, and my cat wants to beat it up. So like poor Nyaranj is just like, hey, what? No, be cool. So I'm just like, hey, can you at least like get back down here,
Okay.
please?
Nyaranj is absolutely going to get down. What exactly do you order it to do, though?
Come back.
All right. Nyaranj, seeing the incredibly violent stuffing encroaching upon its area, looks over the edge of the branch and sees you guys holding out what appears to be a tarp. And without needing any further instruction, Nyaranj jumps.
What a good cat.
Would catching a cat with a tarp count as Evolsters or friends?
I don't think it's friends.
There's 3 old friends there.
I feel like it would be Evolsters. So one of you are going to have to roll, and the other one can be a plus 1d6 for helping.
It is
okay,
my
well,
cat,
either
so
of us.
Yeah, it's not going to be better one way or the other, so I'll roll
Yeah.
since it's my cat.
Okay.
Can I get a third since this has probably gone badly before?
And it's a cat,
and
it's a cat, and all cats land on their feet. So
Okay,
that's
I would say that Nyaranj is prepared to leap out into open space being a cat. So that's 3d6 so far. Would you say you're an expert in running away from angry Evolsters?
Look, we do this a lot.
All right, I'll let you have the full.
This is part of my job.
I'll let you have the full 4d6.
We have prepared the tarp. Like, the tarp is prepared. Like, we're prepared to catch it.
Like, cats usually land on their feet, though. I don't think you have to catch it.
But
I don't think so. I think we're prepared.
I'm just saying this is probably not our first rodeo.
Fair.
This is a big part of Momo's job.
Jumping from trees.
Well, trying to like calm down
Escaping the wild birds
and getting them to hang out with us.
All right, go ahead and roll 4d6 and cross your fingers. Oh wow!
Yo! Yes!
Yo!
Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
3 ones. That's 3 successes.
Job.
Holy crap!
That's actually amazing.
Alrighty then. So, Nyaranj gracefully lands smack dab in the center of your batter tarp, and as a matter of fact, does so gracefully that it uses like the motion of it to do a couple like extra jumps and flips, like bouncing off like it's a trampoline. And batter like chitters up, very upset at being used in this way, but Nyaranj is perfectly safe. The stuffing, now that no one is, like, around its, like, area, like, chitters angrily down at you, but then turns to go back into its nest, pauses for a second to, like, register the now melting frozen swan that is bisecting its tree branch, before shrugging and slinking back into its nest.
Elegance, poise, beautiful.
I will definitly clap after Nyaranj has landed safely.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick her up and be like, yeah, good baby, you did it, you did it.
The Gobbo is also clapping.
You okay? Yeah, and I'm gonna like check her over, make sure she didn't get hurt too badly.
Momo, have you ever considered being an arena coordinator? That was fantastic.
I haven't. Is that a thing? That's a thing? I don't.
That's a whole viable career, apparently.
Huh. Well, maybe once we've got the zoo up and running, I'll look into it. For fundraising.
And better did a good job as a tarp, right? Right?
A lot of people use it to promote their charity work. Of course, it'd be fabulous.
Okay. Well, we'll keep that in mind for the future. As I continue to, check poor Nyaranj to make sure she's not hurt too badly.
Nyaranj is okay.
And Better could try out as a tarp or a trampoline. And Batter's like, no.
Batter's body like snaps back to its normal shape, and it looks a little dazed from being trampled a bit. And it like looks at you like, "Are you crazy?"
I mean, that's given, but
All right. Abby, you were climbing up to the next set of branches while all of this was going on below you, and you actually have managed to make it to the same level of branches where that previously mentioned bird's nest is. Inside the bird's nest, you see a pair of faces pop out. They are orange sparrow-like Evolsters with what appears to be a sort of like a hard brown shell attached to their front breasts. Around their neck, there appears to be this kind of like crinkled brown substance that looks a little bit like stone, and there is a large white tuft of white feathers on the very top of their head. You recognize these as being a pair of magpies. They basically look like slices of pumpkin pie if they were birds and turned backwards. That was my entire premise with this.
It's adorable.
And they are both actively eating the berries that had fallen into their nest earlier in the
Cricket.
adventure. So they're looking at you with their heads tilted, actively chewing, just trying to see what you're gonna do. What are you gonna do?
Hi, do you want to be friends?
God.
Yeah, I'm literally just asking them. You want to be my friend?
They look at
Really
each
gonna
other.
capture these?
We have more berries.
If you want to attempt to befriend these magpies, you could roll for it.
Would you say that's one?
Well, you start off with one. Are you
Mhm.
are you prepared to make friends with these magpies?
Always.
Okay. I guess I could give you an extra one because you technically got a help from Batter dropping the berries in the first place. So that's at least 3d6.
All right.
Isn't your goal like to get them all?
Yes.
Do you
I
have a
definitely-
magpie in your backlog?
Let me really quickly figure that out.
Oh, okay.
That would be a one. Okay, 15 or higher. I have one already.
All right, so you already own a magpie. So do you still want to try capturing one of these fellas? You don't have the magpie on you, I will note.
I could always use more friends.
Okay.
You could also be wanting to get the opposite gender one. So
That's
Ooh,
true.
that's a good point.
for breeding purposes.
Well,
so
you have
then my number is 5.
so that's
and
3
it's
successes.
friends.
No, it's friends, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
So that
So
was
you-
3 failures.
Aw.
Oh no!
Do they just keep looking at me and then turn away?
No, that's not how this game works. I decide that.
Oh.
And you got 3 failures, so this has to go horribly wrong. Yeah,
Sorry,
no.
guys.
You reach your hands out, and they get all excited because you mentioned more berries, but then your hand is empty. They have been
Oh.
tricked. They have been
Ooh.
bamboozled. They will never be taken for fools again, and they will make sure that you know it. Both of them flap their wings, and with little birdie cries of vengeance, flap at your face and begin pecking the heck out of you.
Oh.
You really should have considered using the lasso. Like, just from a mechanical standpoint. So far, befriending things is not your strong suit.
No.
This is why the lasso is so much better, but everyone else said, no, you can't just lasso them. Can't just lasso them.
Well, since it's you, you can.
Yeah, true.
Can you lasso them while climbing a tree though?
Yes. Good point.
Don't give them ideas. Abby may
Yeah,
just
can
go
I-
ahead and do it.
Can I?
I
Can
don't.
I
But it
try to
would,
lasso them or ring them? Since they're so close, I could probably just kind of put a friendship ring on them.
Sure. All right, fine. I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance to friendship ring one of them. That would be an Evolsters roll.
All right. 1 or 2?
I don't think you're prepared for this or an expert, and there's no one there to help you, so that's going to be 1d6.
There you go.
Hey, that's a success. All right. So you are flailing about as these birds try to attack your face for daring to taunt them with the existence of more berries. And you do manage to pull a ring out, and you do manage to loop it around one of the magpie's faces. But now you just have a bird on a ring, so like it's still flying about and still pecking you, and it's like jostling your arms about back and forth. You have caught it technically, but it hasn't like decided you're friends yet. It's still angry at you.
All right.
It's a friendship bracelet.
Yeah, little birds, the food is down there. And I'm like trying to point out, no, guarding my face. It's down there. You see?
All right.
Maybe they'll
Naren is just looking at Abby like, do not send more angry things at me, I swear to God.
Nyaranj sees the commotion, and that Abby's like pointing directly at Nyaranj, and like its face pales even further, like, oh god, please no.
I mean, I left my pack down there, so you could just pull food out of my bag too.
Oh,
On the horse.
what would anyone on the ground like to do about this?
I guess Taro is all about feeding all of the creatures, so Taro can probably entice and like agree with your character that there is food by like opening up his pack and be like, there's berries and seeds and all sorts. Like there's a whole platter that he pulls out, like
Is it a cheese board?
and displays it. Yeah, a cheese, a smorgasbord.
Okay. So, would you say that bribing these Evolsters with food is an Evolster's role or a friend's role?
It's a good question.
Would knowing what foods to bribe them with would be an Evolster's role, but enticing them with like your body language and your voice would be a friend's role. So, which one do you think you want to do?
Well, I'd rather do friends because I know I'm better with friends.
Yeah.
By all means.
Okay, so I'm prepared because I have a platter.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I do this a lot because that's what I do is feed hungry Evolsters.
Mm-hmm.
All the Evolsters.
Feed all the Evolsters. So let's
I'm not mean.
I'm prepared and expert because I do this. So that's 3d6.
Okay.
Or 2d6.
That'd be 3d6.
Okay.
Because you always roll at least
Trying-
1d6.
Okay.
And your number
I got a
is
2.
2. Okay. So that's
So
one
I got 2
success.
successes and 1 Evolster friend.
Right. All right. So what question do you have for me?
What else should I be on the lookout for? Because I guess if I what should I be on the lookout for if I bring out this scrumptious, yummy smelling platter? Is there going to be other dangerous Evolsters that could try to trample us?
Okay, that's a very good question.
Battery board.
Many.
There is a chance that you could attract another Evolster. But there should not be anything in this forest that you know of that would be too terribly dangerous.
Yeah, then I think I've like spread out the platter and it like set up. I don't know how. Maybe the birds like to eat from a perch, so maybe I've got like a retractable bird perch stand that I can fill with seed or something, and
Oh,
get that set up
have,
and
like a fancy perch you could borrow also.
a fancy perch and
Perch for my fancy bird.
And I think I want to Evolsters to show that we're friends by laying out this platter.
Okay. So you lay out what is quickly turning into a full-on picnic. And specifically the magpie that had been like friendship ringed realizes oh no, there actually is food, and it like chirps quickly at its friend who's still like full on like, you know, kill the cowgirl, kill the cowgirl, kill the cowgirl. And he's like, no, dude, there's food. Look, right down there. She was being honest. And the birds are like, oh. And they look at each other, and they look at Abby, and then they just kind of like shrug a little bit, and they flit down to the bottom of the tree to land on the perch, and they begin to eat.
Yay.
Now, seeing you do this, the Gobbo at the very top of the tree, so he's been watching you this entire time. And he saw the one with the hat climbing up. That was a little hairy, getting a little too close for comfort. Saw it like fight that weird yowling thing a few branches down. That wasn't great. Entertaining, but not great. But also, it's seen how you interact with your Evolsters. It's seen Nyaranj being babied after fighting off the stuffing. It's seen the whole
better being pulled into various shapes.
We'll ignore that. We'll ignore that for now. We're choosing to ignore that. It's basically seen that you know, no one's perfect, but you very clearly care about the Evolsters that you find. You leave their territory as soon as possible. You know, you didn't stay and beat it to death. You left the stuffing alone. You actively feed the magpies, and it's looking at you guys, and it's thinking to himself, maybe y'all ain't so bad. And so it thinks for a second, and then it nods its little head, and then it turns around, and like a firefighter pole, it just slides down the tree, top to bottom, and then boom, it lands on the ground next to y'all, and just kind of waves a little bit.
How long did you practice that?
Practice what?
That was pretty good.
Sound.
Yeah.
The whistle. I've been able to whistle since I was like 6. What?
No, but that particular whistle.
The slide whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I just do that.
Nice.
I
Dang.
can't do that.
Thank you. That's a really weird thing for me to be complimented on, but I'll take it, I guess. So yeah, the Gobbo lands next to y'all, waves a little bit, and then waddles its little butt over and starts eating next to the magpies.
Yay!
So
Buddy.
like Taro's like squealing and like fanning himself, like yeah.
Yeah, Momo's also like a little excited. She's just straight up they're like straight up, hey buddy, hey, how's it going?
It's like gives a little like smile at you as much as you can smile with like an anime beak before going back to stuffing its face.
Cool, relatable.
In the background going through my like trunk, and I'm holding up like bows, just like bit kind of eyeing like, is this the right color? No, that's not quite. Is this the right color? No, that's not quite right either.
Wait to dress up the Gobbo?
Yes, fashion is everything. Fashion is everything, darling. How else do you tell you appreciate someone without giving them fabulous things to wear to make them feel fabulous about themselves? And then I kind of like gesture to my bird, and my bird kind of ruffles its feathers a little bit.
Walk,
do you
fashion,
have like
baby.
a fancy chef outfit in there? I want to try that.
I mean,
on.
probably, yeah.
The Gobbo looks up at you when you mentioned just chef and like squints for a second.
Shit.
Nope.
Oh shit!
It's a costume, of course. It's not a real.
Abby's
We
just
would
gonna
never.
slowly
Be
make
like,
her way
hey
down.
buddy, you wanna? I run a safe place. Well, I'm making a safe place.
I got him down. Don't scare him away.
Oh,
I mean, the
Essie,
zoo is not
can,
established yet, but they're working on it.
Essie, can your fire zebra Evolster jump up so that you can land on it and do a really cool trick?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So y'all are like so focused on the Gobbo. It's the same shot from earlier where it's focused on you, but then Abby does something ridiculous in the background where like Zebrash Fire runs halfway up the tree, does like kick flip and backflips off of it, and Abby lands perfectly on its back. And it's like, ta-da! but
Well,
no
I
one,
definitely.
Everyone
No one
applauds.
notices.
no one else sees.
No.
Alas.
However,
This happens a lot.
while you're doing that cool ass kickflip, Abby, you do notice that coming down the path leading to this tree, there is a vehicle. A long black limousine is slowly making its way through the forest, and it parks a few feet away from your collected friends and the Gobbo. And you notice that attached to its front antennas are a pair of tiny, flapping, red and white striped flags. Which,
Do I recognize these as anything in particular?
oh yes, they're the national flag of your country. Which I forgot to give a name to. The United, what should I call it? The USE, the United States of Evoltaria. Let's go with that. The United States.
United States of Eating.
Nice.
Yes. The car comes to a halt, and the driver steps out. She is wearing a black suit with sunglasses and has a little earbud, and she scurries to the very last door on the vehicle and pops it open. And a man steps out wearing a comically oversized mustache, which almost hides the entirety of his also oversized bow tie. He steps out and says, "Hello, everyone! I see you found the Gobbo! That's wonderful!"
Dividum over the Timsdale Dividum.
No, it's...
Eggman. Because
Oh,
egg
yeah,
egg is
Eggman.
another food.
It is.
Yeah, it's Eggman.
Okay,
We're just full of food.
sure.
Deviled egg man.
He looks like Dr. Eggman. Why not?
Amazing.
I mean, he's a devil.
Astounding.
Get it? Devil.
Perfect. Beautiful.
So-
10 out of 10.
Is this our boss or is this someone else?
No, I don't
Do
think
we
we
know
have
this
the
dude?
President, and we're gonna
I'm
fight
wary.
the president.
Yeah.
None of you, well, you know what? Would recognizing an important public figure be Evolsters or friends?
It would be fancy arena coordinator who
Friends?
aspires to treat only the best.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
I mean, if his job is related to Evolsters, then yes, we should recognize him if he's important enough.
All right.
If he's fancy enough, if he's important enough, I should just know who it is.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
say that Momo, Abby, and Taro don't really recognize this person.
No, I don't think I.
He feels vaguely familiar, but you don't recognize him. Whereas Bree recognizes who this is supposed to be. This is a man dressed up like the president of the United States of Evoltaria. And this man says, "Yes, it is I, the president. I am here to pardon the Gobbo for this year's celebration. And this year we've chosen you." And he points to the Gobbo, who looks up and blushes and is like, "Me?"
I do that thing that adults do when they see a suspicious adult at a park and stand slightly in front, full attention on the dude who's dressed like the president, but slightly in front of the Gobbo. So it's no, you gotta go. No, absolutely not. You're not coming over here.
Yeah, I
Mom
kind
stare.
of. I
I
kind
do
of want to
mom
stand.
stare.
Mom stare. I kind of want to be in front of the Gobbo too and let it finish its meal first. I guess I don't know.
Yes,
But
I'm on my
I don't
horse.
know.
Brittany
I
knows
feel
I'm a
like
stranger.
Momo may not know who this is supposed to be, but Momo is, trying to put conservation facilities together. I feel like she can tell when she should be getting poacher vibes.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you're getting hard poacher vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a fake important person. Bullshit.
You could tell. You could spot him a mile away, can't you?
You can
That
pardon
suit is
the,
not Gucci.
you can pardon the Gobble from way over there. You don't need to come any closer.
Well, no, you see, there's a
If
ceremony.
you come closer, my horse will hit you.
Well, please don't do that. I'll arrest you, because I'm the president. He says, we have to take the Gobbo back to the House of White so that we can have like a press conference and I'll shake its wing.
No.
And
You look way different than you do on TV.
well, you know what they say. The camera adds 10 pounds. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
I'd like to have Kukuri take the mustache off.
Ooh.
I'd like to remove them. I'd like to do the dramatic unmustaching
Okay.
with a psychic power, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe a psychic power
Are you
for sure.
prepared?
Are you prepared?
Am I prepared to do a quick costume change in the middle of
Yeah.
a potentially stressful performance situation? Absolutely.
Hell yes. In fact, you're an
that's
expert
true.
at it.
That's true.
So that's
All day, every day.
at least 3d6. And, well, you'd be rolling... Would this be Evolsters or Friends? I'd say it's Evolsters.
Evolsters?
I
Because
see
it's
Evolsters.
it's a command.
It's your
Mhm.
profession.
Yeah, it's a performance
It's the
thing.
command, but it's my profession. So,
All right.
yes. 2 successes, I think? I don't know which way these go anymore.
Your number is 4, and you're rolling under, so it's
Yes.
only
Oh, okay.
one success.
Only one success.
All
Oh,
right.
that makes sense.
No,
It's not my
Evolsters is-
costume.
Yeah, that's
It's not my costume.
right.
All right. So with only one success, Kukuri does flap forward with a scree and attacks this man's face. And he says, "Oh my! Oh good lord! Oh
no,
please!"
Psychic powers. Psychic powers.
Oh, okay.
Not bird powers.
I misunderstood. Take
That would
2.
be wild.
Bird power.
No, actually, you know what?
Sure.
You know what?
That's what you get for not a complete success.
You
No,
give
that's fair. Okay.
you give an order, and Kukuri is like, "Okay," and just fucking birds it up. Just like, aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go ape shit?
Don't you just want to go ape shit?
So Kukuri's like, "I'll take
I'm
that
like,
mustache off, all right."
Kukuri, let's do a quick change. And it's like, okay.
So it's
Tail split, wings out.
the president is like screaming and like, "Oh my gosh, get it off! Oh my god, please, no! I'm so sorry. I'll do anything, please!" And you hear a massive rip as this mustache is removed from this man's face. And with the mustache gone, you notice that that comically sized bow tie did a lot to hide this person's face, which you can now see fully. And you recognize them. The security guard like rips off her sunglasses and yells, "The jig is up! They've seen us! Quick, Ramsey!" And the 4 of you turn around to
Oh my God,
realize
it's Gordon Ramsay.
that the Gobbo is being held by a sheep-like Evolster that looks at you and goes,
How is
Yeah.
he holding it?
"You thought you thought you could get rid of us, huh? Well, we got the Gobbo now." And
Yo, you want to come to a conservation facility? You want to be an ambassador animal?
no, I'm a criminal. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Lasso.
And the 2 humans rip off their costumes to reveal that they are, in fact, the dastardly duo of Team Snackit, Paula and Dean.
Oh my God.
God, why would you do this to me?
Their Ramsey, who you know to be named Gordon, scampers past a lot of you, and they attempt to jump into their getaway
Lasso.
vehicle. What would you like to do?
Lasso.
I'd like to freeze the tires to the ground. I don't know why I sang that.
Okay.
I don't know why I did it. I'm just like, okay, we're doing
Entertaining.
performance.
You're freezing the
check. Here we
tires.
go.
I'm lassoing the Ramsey.
All right. So that yeah?
If while she's lassoing the Ramsey, me and Yarns are gonna try and like run into like when the Ramsey is lassoed, get the Gobbo away from it.
Okay.
So I guess we're assisting on that.
I would argue the other way around. I would argue, if he's okay with it, that attempting to lasso the Ramsey would be helping you guys get the Gobbo away from Ramsey. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's resolve these two actions in order. First of all, Tegan, you want to order Kukori to ice the wheels to the ground, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I will also accept popping the tires with a big icicle. Either or.
Okay.
We're trying to incapacitate the car, basically.
All right.
Without, like, blowing up the car.
We have previously established that making ice sculptures is like a thing you do, so you can just go ahead and roll 3d6. And it's going to be Evolsters, so you want to roll 4 or under.
3 successes then.
Okay.
Perfect.
You give a command to Kukori, and with a scree, she fires off a psychic attack, which brings the water in the area around the tires, and then immediately freezes them into 4 slightly misshapen ice sculpture swans.
Rude!
Nice.
Why are they all misshapen?
Well, there's a tire in the middle of them.
Professionals.
There's
Oh,
a
yeah,
tire in the middle of them. It's not, you know.
So the neck like comes up in the wheel well, and it like comes down and around.
Right, exactly. It's not quite as good as it would be if there hadn't been a car in the way, but like,
the foolish car. But it does. It
Stupid
looks
car.
excellent against the car.
yes, it looks
It's
looks
just-
Contrast is
beautiful.
amazing.
Excellent. Perfect. Mwah. Lovely.
All right.
We do the clapping.
We'd be
again.
applauding
She's
if we weren't busy with other stuff.
like, we are
Yeah.
applauding. We always positively reinforce our Evolsters.
My
Paula-
hands are a little
I
full,
mean,
sorry.
like, I would be applauding if I wasn't busy running in.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, my hands are full. I need 2 of them to lasso.
Paula jumps into the driver's seat and tries to hit the gas to peel out, but as mentioned, the wheels are all frozen. You can hear the cracking as they strain against the ice, and Paula's going, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! But for the moment, they are stuck in place. Sono, you wanted Momo and Nyaranj to attempt to grab Gobbo away from Ramsey.
Yeah.
Um,
Mostly I would be doing the grabbing and Nyaranj would be doing the distracting, I guess.
I would say that grabbing Gobbo would count as an Evolsters roll, because that is tactical, you're kind of grappling. But if you wanted to say you're rescuing Gobbo, well, that's a very friendly thing to do.
Yes.
So
I'm
you are
going-
going to
I'm
rescue
going to-
Gobbo.
To rescue Gobbo into my loving arms.
Are you prepared to rescue Gobbo?
Yeah, I'm running in with this plan in mind.
Always.
Are you an
prepared.
expert at rescuing Gobbo?
To be fair, we probably have dealt with poachers before.
All right, and you are
You
also
also have me
Conservation is
helping
our
you out.
job.
you also have a cowgirl attempting to lasso Ramsey, so you have an additional. So yes, 4d6, and you are trying to roll over your number of 2.
You should be
Okay.
able to get that.
Let's hope. Last time I rolled 3 1s.
Oh my goodness.
Though I did want those 3 1s, so
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is fair. That is fair.
heck
There
yeah.
you go.
Yay! 4 full successes. So yeah, Abby with a yeehaw lassos the heck out of Ramsey. You get him right around the horns, and he's going, hog-tied again! Which makes no sense because she's
Can
a
I say
ram,
that
but
Nyaranj,
whatever.
like, shoots some juice into his eyes?
Oh, my eyes! Why would you do that?
Because you did crimes!
That's I
It's a living.
it's a living. But yeah. So you
To a pulp.
so
Oh,
I hate that. So Momo reaches out to rescue Gobbo, and Gobbo like turns and locks eyes with Momo, and like in slow motion, that bit where like each frame is kind of like faded out, so it looks kind of like motion, but not really. It reaches back,
Oh.
and you pull it into your arms, and it holds you tight, and it's really cute for a second, but then you realize it's like actively shaking because it's terrified. It wanted one thing today, and that was to not almost be eaten, and somehow it managed to not even do that. So it is not having a good time right now, but it is staying in your arms.
It's
not-
fine because it's actually not been almost.
Yeah,
eaten.
it's actually.
It's almost been captured.
Yeah, not even.
Very different things.
He'll be fine.
All right.
Momo's
Gobbo.
now like retreat behind everyone and be comforting, be like, it's okay, you're safe, we got you.
Mm-hmm.
So can I now stomp on what's his name? Dean? Can I stomp on Dean yet?
You have Gordon Ramsay tied up, like hog tied in front of you. Dean is like trying to get into the vehicle, which is like frozen in place. You are free to do whatever you want.
Zebra's fire. Stomp.
All right. What exactly is Zebra's Fire stomping?
Well,
about to
not
kill
the
him?
car.
Are you about to kill a man? I don't think we can condone murder. I don't think I can allow children to murder people. I think that would make me a bad adult.
I mean, they're at least
Aw.
16.
Yeah, but that's still, they're not legal adults. They're still kids.
Well, can I just stomp a fire around the car to stop them from leaving then?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, that's what I do. How many times have we had this argument?
All of them. Like at least 6.
Yeah, seems about right.
You can only murder after you're a legal adult. Before then, no murder. Those are the rules.
Okay.
Those are the rules in the Evolsters world. And now I've said them, they are canon.
Ramsey, who is actively like crying through like the pepper spray that's in his face of some sorts, says, "Yeah, there's an age limit on joining Team Snack It. I mean, if you want me to give you like the application form for later, then sure. But anyway, so yeah, go ahead. That would be an Evolsters roll if you're ordering Zebrash Fire to attack.
Oh, got it. You said that Ramsey had pepper spray.
It's the juice from Nyaranj's
that's right.
blast.
Yeah,
It would be
I think
spray.
so. I want my character to have been like gasp and go, oh, "You're not the president," and then throw peppers at them like literal peppers.
Squeeze some like cayenne in their eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, cayenne pepper. Yeah.
So Dean has been, I guess, assaulted by peppers.
Sprayed with peppers.
He's like, "Oh no, I
pepper
can't
spray.
believe this."
An Officer Jenny or something. Can I like pull out my cell phone and call like the police? Adults trying to assault some children.
I mean, sure, you absolutely can do that. So you,
I'd like to call the police.
hello, police.
Hello, police.
Hello,
My
police.
Hello, police. My name is Brie, and I would like to report some adults attempting to assault and potentially murder some children.
What? They can't do that. That's illegal.
Murder until you're 18, and these kids are not 18.
Oh my
You can
God.
pick them up. They were also impersonating the president.
They were, what? They can't do that. That's super illegal. We'll be right there. And then you hear the hang up, the deep,
Thank you.
deep, deep. You realize they didn't
didn't
ask
even
for
think
it.
of
Ask for where we were.
They've obviously already tracked the location. Like
You hear like sirens from like far in the distance immediately kick on.
it's like your mom in Pokemon Gold and Silver. She just like knows where you are, and she's like, "Hey, just so you know, I spent your money, but also I bought your thing. Bye."
Goddamn Google selling my data to my mom.
Well,
Hey honey,
You
I
saved
noticed
the
you've been
novel.
listening to your middle school playlist a lot. Are you doing okay?
Oh no.
I don't know if it'll show up on stream.
It
Oh
will
my
not
God.
show up on stream, but I
So sad.
hold on.
That's a crime.
aw.
Hold on. I can
You should put the other one also. The feed all the Evolsters.
Yes.
I gotta press some buttons. So,
That's okay.
go ahead and roll to make Zebrash Fire, attack.
He protect, but he also attack.
And sometimes he helps find a snack.
He helps beat the team snack.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So media source.
Hello, police.
Hello, police.
Hello, police.
Hello.
Hi, police. The thing is, like, you call the police and everyone's just named police. So it's like, hello, police. Yes, hello, police.
Yes, I am.
Turns out
I am
I'm
police.
supposed to be a police.
I am police.
I am here to see police. I am police.
I'm
Look,
married to the police.
Officer is her first name.
Officer.
Jenny is the family name.
So,
The thing is, I don't think you're wrong. I think Jenny is the family
Oh.
name.
So yeah. This is going
And
on my Twitter.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Hate it.
Oh, I love it.
Absolutely terrible. Slide.
I have no regrets. I put the least amount of effort into that possible because I
Which
wanted
makes
to
it
do it
perfect.
before it became irrelevant.
All right. So yes, commanding it to attack would be an Evolsters role. Are you prepared to beat the shit out of these crooks?
No murder. You can't murder them. That's illegal.
We're
You're
not murdering.
You're only allowed to
We're
murder
not
after
murdering, we're just assaulting.
Assault is fine. And so is a pepper, if you know what I mean.
Jesus Christ!
A pepper? You want peppers?
Assault and a pepper.
Please, no more peppers! I can't take it anymore.
And this is the real reason that they're with us. Trying to stop all these kids from doing illegal stuff.
But yeah, Essie, you gonna roll?
To
Essie.
Yeah.
This is your turn. We're waiting for you. We have been for like 5 minutes now.
You have to
No,
roll.
I'm stomping the fire around the car to stop them, remember?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is 2. Prepared
Have you ridden your
default.
horse while leaving a trail of fire before?
multiple times.
Then
3?
you are an expert. That's 3d6. And you are
Was
trying
that
to
an
roll.
Evolsters?
That's an Evolsters, so that's 3 successes.
Okay.
All right.
You whip up an inferno around the car.
Oh, I want to start roasting marshmallows.
You whip up an inferno around the car, and all 3 members of Team Snacket start screaming. They're like, "Oh no! What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" And then Ramsey, who's finally gotten the juice out of its eyes, says, "You idiots! What do you think we're gonna do? There's nowhere to go but up!" And he hits a comically large red button in the middle of the dash panel.
Of course he does.
And from the top of the car, you see a shape emerge, a large round shape, and you recognize it as the balloon part of the Team Snacket balloon, which is, its symbol is a fork and knife crossed over each other like a skull and crossbones, and the entire limo is slowly lifted up into the sky. All 3 of them are calling out the windows of various calls, like, yeah, can't get us, we're gonna get away, and, stuff like that.
Is the balloon shaped like cotton candy or like a cookie?
Or is it shaped like Ramsey's head?
It's...
Oh, yeah, it could be a Ramsey head, too.
Yeah, sure. It's shaped like Ramsey's head, so it looks kind of like a Macy's Day Parade balloon, where it's like, you have to have the horns involved somehow. But yeah, it has like the Snacket logo on the front, and the entire limo slowly starts to float away. Is there anything anyone would like to do before they completely escape?
Can I shoot a stick at the balloon?
Sure.
Can I shoot an icicle at the balloon?
Sure.
Let's both
Can
do these
I
things.
have Batter help steer the balloon?
What?
You said Batter's a water type, right?
Yes.
Can Batter make the balloon wet so that we can freeze it
Sure.
and then turn it into basically a lead weight.
Is Gobbo is Gobbo with them, or do we have Gobbo?
You
We have
you
Gobbo.
have
Yeah,
Gobbo.
I have Gobbo.
Gobbo has been rescued.
Then just puncture the balloon. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to make it wet so it's easier for us to freeze?
Why do we need to freeze? We don't need to freeze it. Just throw an icicle at it.
Yeah, we just need to
Fair
pop
enough.
it so they blast off.
That's fair. Okay.
We just want to get rid of them at this
Blast
point.
off.
Everyone roll 1d6 just for the hell of it.
Yay!
I got my number.
With the power
No,
of
wait.
God and
Did I roll
I
it
got
twice?
below mine.
Oops.
I don't
You
know
know
what
what?
we're supposed to be getting.
It's fine. With the power
doesn't
of God and anime, all of you, in one way or another, assist a final attack. You blast at the balloon, which pops, and all three members of Team Snack It look at the balloon and look at each other, and they're like, why did we not think of this as a possibility? Before you guess it, there is a large explosion, and the limo goes rocketing off into the distance, and they yell, Team Snack It's blasting off again! Ding!
Nice.
Abby's just gonna wave and say, "See y'all next time."
Bye.
The
Do I still have the comically overlarge mustache?
yes, Kukuri is actually wearing it.
Excellent. Wearing it.
Very nice. Very good.
Did you also grab the bow tie, or is that still on D?
I think he was still wearing the bow tie. I think I only got
Darn,
the
you could have
mustache.
used that.
Does the mustache have DNA evidence on it?
God.
I don't know why that got me so hard.
I'd like to turn
Well,
it
it's
over
like
to the
a lighthearted
police.
anime, and then all of a sudden, we're in like detective
Law and
town.
Order SVU. Is there DNA on the mustache? I'd like to turn it over to the police so they have it in their database of people who are trying to murder children and impersonate the president.
One of those feels
So
like it's a
that's
federal
illegal.
crime, and the other one is murdering children. So,
Well, now.
the scene changes.
One of those is definitely a fashion crime. Just
Jesus.
saying.
Which one?
The scene
Impersonating the
changes.
president.
The scene changes. It is now sundown. The orange and golds across the sky match the color of the forest leaves as the lot of you, including the police, clean up after the big mess. Gobbo is sitting in the back of the police cruiser, ready to be escorted back to the safe location where you were trying to get it. And it
We gave it a shock blanket.
It has a shock blanket and also more of Nyarange's berries, which Batter gave to
Yes.
it, to Nyarange's behest. And with its comfy blanket and its wing full of berries, it stands up on its seat to look out the window and wave at the lot of you. And
Oh, we gonna wave.
Oh yeah, we all wave back for sure.
Yes.
you wave back.
It was nice to meet you, Gobbo.
These are like the real police, the actual police, right? No more disguises.
I don't know. Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
they show up and they're like, hi, we're the police.
And
We're
I'm
the
like, "Hello,
police. We're
This is
police.
the
My name's Police.
I'm Officer Police. This is my partner, Sheriff Police. Hi, I'm
It turns
Sheriff
out, like,
Police.
I have a badge, and I'm like, "Hello, officers. Yes, this is the turkey we're trying to escort."
Turkey? What's a turkey? We only see a gobbo. Wink.
This is wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
But yes. So the police escort the gobbo back to its safe spot, and it waves to you from the back window as it disappears down the road, and you have succeeded. You have saved another Evolster, but this doesn't mean that your journey is at an end, for the world is full of regrettably delicious magical beasts who need your protection from the likes of Team Snack It. And so your journey will continue on from this Thanksgiving to the next and beyond. Thank you guys very much for joining me. That's the adventure!
One thing.
Hey.
Can I befriend the other magpie?
You know, I mean, yeah, sure, if you want. I mean,
Okay, now I have 2 new ones.
you now have two. They're not magpies. They're megpies, like
I said
nutmeg.
Meg.
Oh, okay, I misheard
Oh,
you.
nutmeg.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Come from.
Yeah. That was my plan. But yeah, I'm pretty certain the only people left in chat are us and maybe Carol. Yeah, no, Carol's here. Nice. All right, well, that's gonna do it for us tonight, guys. Thank you guys very much for joining me. I hope you had a good time.
That was great.
This was delightful.
Bit of a rocky start, but we figured it out. Before we go, I do want to point out that most of my collaborators here have Twitch streams of their own. Essie streams at Estelle Dusk. Jin doesn't stream anything at all. Sono streams at Karate Bug Mom. And Tegan is part of a podcast, The Impossible Coin. You can find wherever podcasts are sold. But yeah, that's it.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Safe.
If you don't celebrate it, well, enjoy whatever you have tomorrow.
Please stay the fuck at home.
Yeah,
I'm begging
please.
you.
If
Please
you
stay the
must go
fuck at
out, wear
home.
your mask, wash your hands.
All right. Bye, everyone.
See you.
Bye bye.